Our people, not every river is just water. Some carry stories, some carry curses, and some carry the bones of those who should not have died. This is the story of Amaka, the bride that the river swallowed. In the village of Odu, surrounded by thick forests and red sands, there was a river called Iyocha. It was a beautiful river. The water was clean and clear. Birds sing from the trees around it. Children played on its banks. Women came every morning to fetch water, and men bathed in it after returning from their farms. People loved Iyocha. They said the river was a gift from the gods. It had never dried up, not even during dry season. Some even said it could heal sickness if you prayed before drinking it. But there was something strange about the river too. Sometimes, when the moon was full, people said they could hear the sound of a woman crying from deep within the water. The elders told the village to ignore such stories. They said it was the wind or the floods. But many villagers believed the river had a spirit inside. Some said it was a good spirit, others were not so sure. In that same village, there lived a young man named Amaka. She was the most beautiful girl in Odo. Her skin was smooth like fresh palm oil. Her eyes shone like morning star. When she walked through the village, even the trees seemed to stand still to watch her pass. But what people loved most about her was her kind heart. Amaka helped everyone. If someone was sick, she would carry her bags to her home. If a child was crying, she would stop and sing for them. If an old man had no food, she would give him what she had cooked. Even the animals seemed to love her. Bird would sit near her foot. When she was pounding yam, God followed her around like pups. Many young men in the village wanted to marry Amaka. They bought gifts. They offered their finest yams, their strongest goats, their biggest chickens. But Amaka chose none of them. Her heart belonged to Obina, the son of the village hunter. Obina was not rich. He did not have a large farm, but he had something really. He was honest and good. He would walk 10 miles into the bush just to help someone find a missing goat. He was brave and respectful. He and Amaka had known each other since childhood. Now they were in love. Their love story was the talk of the village. Old women blessed them when they walked past. Children danced and sang their names. The chief even said their union would bring good luck to the land. A wedding date was chosen. It would happen on the next full moon. Everyone was excited. Everyone except one person, a Ekoma. Ekema was Amaka's best friend. They had grown up together. They had shared food together, clothes, and secrets. But there was one secret Amaka did not know. Ekoma also loved Obinna. She had loved him for many years. She had watched as he fell in love with Amaka. She had hoped he would change his mind, but he never did. At first, Ekoma tried to hide her pain. She smiled when she saw them together. She helped Amaka choose her wedding clothes. She even helped cook during the marriage preparation. But every night, when she went home, she cried. Her heart was heavy with jealousy. One night, just a few days before the wedding, Ekoma would not sleep. She sat on her bed, staring at the moon. Her mind was full of pain and anger. Then a voice in her heart whispered something dark. It said, go to the old shrine, ask the river for help. The old shrine was near the river bank, hidden under trees. No one went there anymore. The ghost of the shrine had been forgotten. But Ekoma remembered the stories her grandmother used to tell. Stories of a river inside the river, a spirit that listened, a spirit that could not give power. She waited until the village was quiet. Then she wrapped herself in a black cloth, walked to the river. The night was cold, frost croaked, the trees swayed in the wind. The moon was full. A calmer stood before the ocean and knelt down. She placed a small pot of palm wine on the ground. She spoke with a trembling voice. Spirit of the river, hear me. I have come with a heavy heart. Take my pen and give me peace. Let Amaka not marry Obinna. Let her disappear. Let him be mine. The wind blew hardly. The river bumped, and then a soft voice came from the water. It was not a voice of a man or woman. It was like the rustling of rivers mixed with the sound of a deep water. A bride will enter the river. The voice said, not with fruits, but with tears and blood. Ekoma was afraid. She looked around, but no one was there. She thought maybe she had imagined it. Maybe it was just the wind. But something in her heart knew. The spirit had answered her. The next morning, the village was busy with wedding preparation. Women cooked large pots of jollof rice. Men set up chairs under palm bench. Children sang songs about Amaka and Obinna. The bride herself was glowing. She wore a wrapper of red and gold. Her neck was full of crow braids. Her smiles could light a dark room. Obinna looked proud. He wore a white top and red cap. He had a walking stick carved by his late father. As he waited at the square, he looked up at the sky and whispered, thank you, gods. Thank you for giving me Amaka. The time came to move to the river. The final part of the wedding would happen across the bridge. They would cross to Obina's family compound and pour liberation at the family tree. Amaka held her maid's hand and began to walk. Drums played, people clapped and danced. The air was full of joy. But just as Amaka stepped into the wooden bridge, something strange happened. The sky turned dark. The wind stopped. The river, which had been calm all morning, began to rise. People shouted, "Hold her! Come back!" But it was too late. A hand made of water rose from the river. It grabbed Amaka's foot and pulled her down. She screamed. Obina ran toward her, but the bridge soak. In seconds, Amaka was gone. The river became calm again. Only her white hair tire floated on the water. There was silence, complete silence. Then the crying began. Women screamed, children ran, men stood frozen. Obina fell to the ground and beat the earth with his fist. She's gone. The river has taken my bride. Obina sat by the river off. For hours, he did not move. His eyes were winged, filled with shock. The head, tire, floated closely. Then slowly sick breathing. The surface. He reached for it, but it disappeared before his finger touched the water. The villagers was too afraid to go near the village. The drummers stopped playing. The dancers dropped their rhythm. The joy of the day had turned to sorrow. Amaka's mother cried until she fainted. Her father tear his wrapper and rolled on the ground, calling her name. By evening, the village square was empty. Everyone had gone home, except Obinna. He sat beside the river, still dressed in his wedding clothes, covered in dust. People tried to talk to him, but he did not hear them. His heart was broken. His bride was gone. The elders gathered in the chief's hut that night. They whispered in tones. They had never seen the river behave like that. One of them, an old man named Dick, said, "This is not natural. A spirit has spoken. The river is angry." Another elder, Mama Uche, nodded. When a bride is taken like that, it is not the river, it is the spirit inside the river. We must find out what has offended it. Chief Okafor, who was over 70 years old and had led the village for 20 years, raised his hand for silence. "Let us call the river priest," he said. "The one who lives in the hills. He may know what to do." It seems night. A message was sent to the hills. The messenger carried palm oil, kola nuts, and a white cloth, gift for the river priest. The next morning, the river priest arrived. His name was Inze. He was blind, but he saw more than most people with two good eyes. His hair was white, and his skin was like wrinkled leather. He walked slowly, held a long staff covered in red and white beds. He did not speak until he stood before the river. Then he dipped his hand into the water and whispered something. The water. He turned to the village. "Someone among you has spoken to the river. Someone made a request. And now the river has taken what was most loved." There was silence. Everyone looked at one another. A comer stood at the back of the crowd. Her lips were dry. Her heart beat fast. She wanted to speak, but fear held her tongues. They pointed toward the shrine by the river. This place was once sacred, but it was forgotten. And when spirits are forgotten, that grow hungry. The chief stepped forward. What must be done? Is nodded. We must offer a cleansing. We must find the truth. The one who made this request must confess. Until then, the river will not sleep. The village murmured. Who could it be? Who would do such a thing? Obina looked up for the first time. His eyes were red, his voice were weak. Please, he said, if anyone knows what happened, if anyone asks for this, speak now. I will not hate you. I only want my Amaka. Still no one spoke. Akoma returned to her hut and fell on her mat. She cried silently. She had only wanted to stop the wedding. She did not want Amaka to die. She did not know the spirit would take her. For days, the village was quiet. No music, no laughter. Every evening, Obina walked to the river and sat there, waiting hope. The one night, something strange happened. A Ekoma had a dream. In the dream, she was standing by the river. The moon was full. The water was calm. Then Amaka rose from the river. Her hair was long and white. Her eyes were full of tears. Why did you do it? Amaka asked. I did mean to. Ekoma said, I only wanted you to stop the wedding. You gave me to the river, Amaka whispered. You must not return what you took. Ekoma woke up screaming. Sweat covered her body. Her heart was beating fast. She could not hide anymore. The next morning, she walked to the village square and knelt before the chief. I have something to say, she said, loud enough for everyone to hear. The villagers gathered around her. Obina came too. Her face was thin. He had not eaten well since the wedding. Ekoma kept her head down. Her voice shook as she spoke. I went to the river shrine. She said, I asked the spirit to stop the wedding. I did not mean for Amaka to die. I was jealous. I was wrong. I gasped went through the crowd. Obina stood up. His face screeched. The chief looked at her with sadness. Why did not you speak earlier? I was afraid, she said. But I had a dream. Amaka came to me. She said, I must return what I took. Inze, the river priest, stepped forward. He looked toward the river. The spirit has spoken through her, she said. Now the river can be calmed. He asked Ekoma to bring something that belonged to Amaka, something from her wedding day. After searching, they found a white wrapper Amaka was meant to wear before crossing the bridge. It had never been used. It still carried her sweet scent. Inza told them to meet by the river on the next full moon. When the day came, the whole village followed Inze, Ekoma and Obina to the river bank. The sky was clear. The air was heavy. The water was still. Ekoma carried the wrapper in her arms. She walked to the edges of the river, kneeled down, and placed the cloth into a small hole dug beside the water. She poured palm oil over it. Then she said in a soft voice, forgive me, Amaka. I was your friend, but I let jealous blind me. I gave you back your clothes. May your spirit rest. As the cloth was covered with sand, the river bumped softly. Then the wind blew, and the water moved in gentle waves. The villagers watched in silence. Obina stood behind Ekoma. His eyes is full of tears. The river priest lifted his hand. The river is sanctified. He said, the bridge, the bride is at peace. That night, the moon was brighter than it had ever been. And for the first time since the wedding day, the river was quiet. The story of Amaka, the bride who was taken by the river, became a tale told to children around cooking fires.